Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about GrubHub co-founder said to have considered buying back the company from Just Eat Takeaway. So the GrubHub co-founder they are referring to here is actually Matt Maloney. And he was saying earlier this year that he was not interested in buying back GrubHub. Now, after they've taken as many L's as they have and taking as many drops in the stock as they have had, I think this has become quite an opportunity for him. He is now considering buying back the company. Whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to your discretion, but let's see what's being said here and see what we could actually learn from what's actually going on, what brought this on, and everything in between. With that said, let's get started. GrubHub co-founder Matt Maloney was said to work with private equity firm General Atlantic to consider buying the food delivery outfit back after he sold it to Just Eat Takeaway for $7.3 billion last year. That is quite a profit that he ended up taking in. $7.3 billion was what he sold it for. What is it at now? Like, if they have taken so many L's recently, I don't think they're all that high anymore. Maloney decided against purchasing the company earlier this year, according to a Sunday Times report, citing unidentified sources. The 60% drop in Just Eat Takeaway shares this year could bring them back, the paper said. 60% drop. Imagine selling a company, watching it drop 60%, and then considering buying it back. I don't know if it's the best idea from an operation standpoint. Kevin O'Leary actually stated one of the biggest mistakes that he made was going back to a company after he sold it. Now he will potentially buy it back. The GrubHub big news comes after the Sunday Times reported a week ago that Just Eat Takeaway may need to write down £5 billion, $6.3 billion from the sale of GrubHub. From $7.3 billion to $1 billion. This has got to be one of the biggest L's in overall gig economy history. That's insane. GrubHub may fetch as low as $1 billion in a possible sale after failing to receive significant interest from strategic buyers, according to Times report, which cited multiple identified sources. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I think a lot of these GrubHub people are not making their investors happy, to say the least. Their investors were not too thrilled about buying GrubHub to begin with. Now, $6.3 billion loss. Just Eat Takeaway announced in April that it's actively working with advertisers to find a strategic partner for a partial sale or full sale of GrubHub. I actually made a video talking all about that. Feel free to check it out. I'll leave it in the description. Just Eat Takeaway has been under pressure since the last fall to sell or spin off GrubHub, as investor Cat Rock Capital have been urging the company to explore options for the GrubHub business. Yeah, Cat Rock Capital was one of the first people to say, I don't want Just Eat Takeaway to buy GrubHub. And I'll tell you what, a lot of gig workers are saying that ever since they bought the company, it's been not too good for GrubHub. And overall, I think their market share has dropped in the United States as a whole. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. And then you pay me. There you go. As far as GrubHub being bought back by Matt Maloney specifically, I can't speak too much into it because I haven't been around long enough in the GrubHub space to talk about how GrubHub was before Just Eat Takeaway. However, if Matt Maloney buys back GrubHub and restores it to at least a competitor with Uber Eats and DoorDash, that is probably one of the best things that can happen for gig workers. Having more avenues of income, not like 2.5, like 3 solid avenues of income for a food delivery driver specifically. Yes, you have Instacart and Shipt and Amazon, whatever. Having solid sources of income for GrubHub would probably be one of the best things that happen. I hope they don't revert completely, because I think that some things are positive and some things are negative. 3 solid sources of income that's gonna help a lot of gig workers get through the recession, and hopefully a lot of people will end up in a more positive space because of it. I just hope that he doesn't make it worse for gig workers, but I feel like it's already pretty bad for gig workers overall. But one thing's for sure, if GrubHub can get more of the market share back, it would definitely give DoorDash and Uber Eats a run for their money, first of all. And second, gig workers as a whole would be more financially stable. Let's hope that at one point, whoever buys GrubHub next ends up making GrubHub better for our drivers, and we could be more financially stable as a whole. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!